GC MMA guys, coming to you. It's fight week, UFC 301. We're coming to you this week with our full card breakdown for UFC 301.
Yeah, boys, a lot of big favorites on this card, Brazilian card in Rio, so they're trying to show off all the Brazilian fighters. They're matching them up to win, basically, but that's going to go in our favor later on in the video. You'll know what we're locking in, but yeah, this is going to be this is an underrated card, boys. I see a lot of hate on this, but I actually like this card a lot.
Yeah, I'll say, like, I can definitely agree with the hate to an extent, but I do fuck with it. This card, honestly, I don't even know if it's worth having a press conference. It's going to only be 45 minutes because 15 minutes is going to be the fighters talking and the other 30 is going to be being translated back and forth between English and Portuguese. Like, that's my stance on it. But first fight on the card, Alessandro Costa versus Kevin Borjas. Guys, I'm going Alessandro Costa here. I think he honestly had a pretty impressive fight. Now that you look at Steve Erceg fighting for the title, it was like a pretty close fight between the two of them. He landed a takedown, or I think at least he shot a takedown on Steve Erceg. He may have landed a takedown, I'm not sure. But
he knocked down Steve Erceg.
Yeah, he wobbled him for sure. And, you know, that's not to say that Kevin Borjas was good. I thought he looked like a little bit of a buzzard, like, in his fight against Joshua Van. But I certainly think that, like, you know, this is not just going to be a brutal ass beating or anything. Yeah. I just think that Alessandro Costa, he's like a tough guy. He's shown against higher fighters that he's more well-rounded, and I just have to go with Alessandro Costa.
Yeah, I agree. He also has the home court advantage, if you think about it. And it should be a competitive fight. I don't want to get on Kevin Borjas, but I think Costa's got this one.
Yeah, for sure.
Motherfucking mosquitoes.
Next fight on the card, we've got Ismael Bonfim versus Vince from Hell Pichel. And guys, Ismael Bonfim is about to knock Vince Pichel's ass back to the fucking carnival with his step right up and test your strength mustache looking ass.
Like, Monopoly looking ass.
Yeah, his old ass, like, he's 41 fucking years old. And I know we're notorious for getting on the brothers in the UFC, but I mean, we have to make an exception for this. There is no way in your right fucking mind you could pick Vince Pichel to win this fight.
Yeah, this is they literally just fed Vince Pichel to Bonfim, boys.
Props to Vince Pichel for saying yes and signing on the dotted line, because he's basically getting
he must be in debt for taking this fight. There's no way he's winning this shit. He needs the money. But
I'm getting real tired of the wife and kids. I gotta go and do something.
Bonfim with the home country advantage
and the skill advantage.
Guys, if Bonfim loses, I don't want to hear shit about anybody in the comments talking about how our opinions on the brothers in the UFC. If he fucking loses this fight, he shouldn't be in the UFC. Like, it's as simple as that. But I fully expect him to KO Vince Pichel in this.
He's a pretty massive favorite, and like, it's honestly just gonna be a matter of how impressive does the knockout look. Not when, not if, but how fucking crazy can he make this knockout look. Because I feel like a lot of people forget he was the one who caught Terrence McKinney with that knee, which before that Terrence McKinney was tearing through everybody. So he definitely is capable of doing like some crazy shit. And like I said, Vince Pichel is basically like one of those tan punching dummies who just stands in front of you and you're going to be able to freestyle box on his ass.
Yeah, a Ronnie Yaha type fighter. Yeah. Like, he's one of those guys.
He's 2 years older than Ronnie Yahya, by the way.
And we saw what happened last week to Ronnie Yaha, and we fully predicted that shit. And I'm not saying that was a hard prediction to make, but it's a similar situation, boys.
Next fight, guys, you know, we said our piece on a lot of these types of fights, women's fights, but it is a pay-per-view, and we're trying to do all the card, like the entire card breakdown, all the fights for these. So the next fight, Diane Barbosa versus Ernesta Karakati. I'm gonna have to go with Barbosa. I don't know who's the favorite, who's beat the better of the two opponents. I just fuck with Barbosa from Pirates of the Caribbean, so I'm just gonna have to fucking.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like, that's one of my favorite fucking movies. But yeah, we're gonna go Barbosa.
This is like his this is like Barbosa's long lost daughter or some shit.
Yeah.
Is what we're really just trying to paint this.
But don't mistake that for us picking Edson Barbosa and shit. Don't mistake that. Edson Barbosa sucks.
There's rules that we have to follow.
This is a bitch fight, so we're just like we're throwing gum at a wall.
Yeah, we're throwing 2 pickles against a window and seeing which one falls first.
Alright.
Jamie Malarkey versus Marcio Ruffy. Guys, I'll just fucking say it. This has got Marcio Ruffy is a fucking lock of this week. Guys, I'm gonna pop it up right now. Look at fucking Jamie Malarkey. He just looks like...
He looks fucked. Like, there's no other way to say it, boys. If you think Jamie Malarkey is winning this fight...
That's a whole lot of malarkey.
That's a whole bunch of malarkey. He's not winning this. They literally made this fight so Ruffy could win this shit in front of the Brazilian fans.
Vince Pichel's book, so who's the second shittiest fighter at lightweight? Jamie Malarkey. They're trying to build this prospect up, guys. I looked at his record today before we record this video. He's 9-1 and has 9 knockouts. And if Nazarat Haqparast is catching Jamie Malarkey in 1 round, Marcio Ruffy is definitely running that.
Yeah, if anybody on the roster is getting beat by Nasrat Haqparast, that just tells me they're not top 15 potential and
They're
should
not
be
even
cut.
UFC potential.
They're fucking Ryzen FC potential, whatever the
Fury FC or
yeah, whatever the hell those
the Eagle FC or
Cage
some shit.
Warriors or some shit.
Next fight, guys, Jakar Close, Joaquim Silva, guys. I'm going Jakar Close. Joaquim Silva, I picked him in December, but, he looked like shit against Clay Guida.
And Clay Guida's old as hell.
Yeah, he's old as hell, the Carpenter, and he got knocked out by Arman Sarukian.
And you guys know we do not fuck with Arman Sarukian.
I'm just going to have to pick Jakar Close here. I know, yes, you can say what you want. He got knocked out by Bobby Green. That was a while ago, and he proved in his last fight. I mean, I know Joaquin Silva's not Joe Solecki, but Jakar Close has shown he knows how to fucking handle the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
I don't
Took his
even.
ass out.
Yeah, I don't really have too many bad things to say about Jakar Close, to be honest. Like, I feel like he's top 15 potential, but not top 10 potential.
Yeah.
But Joaquin Silva, on the other hand, is not top 15 potential whatsoever. So I see Jakar Close winning this one, boys. Even though he's fighting in enemy territory, that's not going to be enough to lose a fight.
Yeah, for sure. Next fight, guys. John Silva versus William Big Ass Head Gomez.
This is still the prelims.
This just got to the prelims. The other ones were the
Holy shit.
prelims.
This card is good, bro.
Guys, John Silva versus William Gomez. I know, some people are saying that William Gomez is like he is a more technical fighter, and there's definitely a world where you could see him outpointing John Silva and kind of being like a nuisance, walking around the cage, kicking him, punching him and shit. I just think that if John Silva catches him one good time, it's gonna fucking buzz him, and John Silva is gonna be able to follow up on that. I don't see John Silva being the type of guy to just sit there and be like, I'm getting beat on the outside. I'm just gonna sit here and there's nothing I can do about it for the whole fight. Like, guys, if John Silva's losing this shit, he's gonna fucking do something about it, and I think that's gonna get him the win in this.
Especially in his home country. Like, the Brazilian fans are passionate. They're a very passionate fan base. They're gonna be yelling at the top of their lungs this whole fight. William Gomez is French, so I just see his ass like crumbling under the pressure of the crowd. And then as soon as he gets hit by like a John Silva like jab or a hook, he's going to be feeling the power and he's going to be like, oh shit, let me go back to Paris. This is fucked.
Look at the motivation between the two of them. One of them's a Brazilian, just getting his chance in the UFC, fighting in Brazil. One of them is fucking French, fighting in Brazil. and his motivation is getting back to eat like croissants and shit in France.
Guys, let me ask you, when was...
He's not fucking BSD.
I don't want to hear shit about Cyril Gane or BSD when it comes to the French fighters, boys. I don't want to hear anything. We have a separate video about that we're going to upload. But as far as this card goes, I got John Silva by knockout. William Gomez is going to be a little bitch in front of the Brazilian fans, and his game plan's failing, boys. Yeah. That's just
and guys, like he said, get off like 2 good French fighters, and you guys know that an exception does not disprove the rule.
Yeah,
and because there are exceptions with the French fighters, the majority of them are fucking bitches.
Cyril Gane's like not even fighting, boys. He's turning down fights. Like,
I got the title shot. Like, fuck.
And wasn't that Ziam guy French too who fought Claudio Puelles?
Split decision with Claudio Puelles.
Yeah,
this guy's Dan Hooker is finishing Claudio Puelles.
Like, you should not be getting a split decision with Claudio Puelles. He sucks.
Elvis Brenner versus my Tic Back Oral Bly.
Some inbred
the fucking guy who looks like a goddamn chimpanzee or an orangutan in the fucking face, guys. This motherfucker. I can't say his fucking name the right way.
He looks like the baby from the first Ice Age grown up and he joined the UFC. That's who that motherfucker looks like.
With that being said, I'm gonna have to fucking go him, guys. Elvis Brenner, like, he's good, right? We've seen him come back when he's been getting his ass beat. But I just don't think that he's going to be able to do it against this guy. I think that this guy's got, like, ridiculously good wrestling, good top pressure, and I just think that he's going to be able to put Elvis Brenner away, or he's going to be able to out-grapple him for the 15 minutes. Like, I tried picking against this guy with Medic. I thought Medic was going to be able to put him away, and this guy came up on short notice and showed what he's capable of, so I definitely cannot pick against him with Elvis Brenner.
Anybody who has a win against Medic, you have to have notice for them. Like, we can't just count this guy off. This guy is one of those, like, inbred motherfuckers from, like, Asia. Like, I don't even know. These people are, like, just bred differently. They're built different. And I would not want to fuck with this guy because I don't know what's going through his head. You could just take one look at him and know you wouldn't want to fuck with this guy. So I definitely see him beating Elvis Brenner in this one in a dominant fashion.
Carolina Kowalkiewicz versus Ismin Lucindo.
Jesus.
Should we flip a coin?
Yeah, I was about to say, Isman Lucindo. There we go, boys. On to the next one. Fuck.
Guys, Jack Shore versus Joe Anderson Brito. This is another fucking lock for this card, boys. Joe Anderson Brito really is that fucking guy. Jack Shore, okay, I've got 2 things, right? Number 1, he was a bantamweight moving up to featherweight, so he's going to be a smaller guy against Joe Anderson Brito. Number 2, guys, this is real important. So if you're like listening to this on the side, stop what you're doing and fucking pay attention. Jack Shore got finished by Ricky Simone.
And you guys know our beef with fucking Ricky Simone. I don't even want to go there, but that's all you should just hear that and automatically pick Joe Anderson Brito.
Guys, Joe Anderson Brito has been super impressive in the UFC. His only loss is to Bill Algeo, and I actually really respect that guy and really rate him highly. Joe Anderson Brito has basically finished everybody, and guess what? His last win is over none other than fucking JSP,
who we just got on for sucking.
And he sucked against Brito and he sucked against Onama. That guy sucks.
David Onama is not better than Brito.
I would take Brito over Onama.
I would take Brito by 2nd round KO over Onama. And I will, as much as I hate to say it, I have Brito KOing Nate Landwehr too, and Nate Landwehr beat Onama in a pretty rough fight. But guys, Nate Landwehr, I love him, but he's not top 15 potential. I hate to say it.
We picked him in his last fight against Jamal Emmers.
Like, Jack Shore is not beating fighters who are top 15 potential, and Joe Brito is knocking out motherfuckers, guys. Like, that's just as simple as it comes. We've been fucking with Joe Brito basically the entire time he's been in the UFC, and we're not gonna change our minds about this.
Especially not against Jack Shore.
This is a lock, boys.
Guys, lock it, Joe Brito.
Yeah.
He's a lock. All right, on to the main card, boys. Starting off, we got Paul Craig and Kai Barallo. You know, I'm really happy to see Kai Barallo getting a step up in competition here. I think he's paid his dues. He fought Petrosian, Abus Magomedov. He's been fucking around and wasting his time with inferior opponents long enough. And it's a little surprising to see him as this big of a favorite against Paul Craig. But to be honest, guys, like, come on. Kai Barallo's not losing to Paul Craig. If Brendan Allen is taking you out by finish, Kai Barallo's definitely fucking got him.
Guys, Paul Craig fucking sucks. Alright? The only good thing he's done is KO Jamal Hill. Or whatever that shit was. Submit. I don't even remember. But he beat Jamal Hill.
He submitted him and he broke his arm with the triangle, and then that's the only thing. I mean, no, he did catch the triangle on the Barn Owl Magomed Ankalaev, but like, guys, come on.
I don't even think
we're stretching. We're turning back like 6 years worth of chapters to fucking find a reason why Paul Craig could win this fight.
Kai Barallo, Brazilian, is an up and coming in the division prospect. Paul Craig is one fight away from being fucking cut from the UFC.
And I just can't fucking wait to see him with his painted face getting up in Kai Barallo's face of the weigh-in like this.
And getting KO'd
and then getting KO'd in the fucking first round. Guys, you know, I honestly don't even want to see Paul Craig lose this fight because I am entertained every time he fights. I think he's a great addition to the UFC because he's one of those guys you like seeing get beat the shit out of, like
Sam Alvey.
Like you're throwing a sack of potatoes in a wheelbarrow or some shit.
Yeah, it's just fun to see his ass get beat up on and shit, but yeah, this is one of the big favorites on the card, and I think Kai Barallo. I can see Kai Barallo is honestly a lock of this card.
All right, next fight, guys. We've got Michel Pereira versus Ihor Potieria. You can take this one.
Yeah, that's Ihor Potieria is coming up on a short notice fight to step in against Michel Pereira, guys. Michel Pereira at middleweight is a different story. I've been saying this for the longest. I've been on Michel Pereira. I've never doubted him, even when he was at welterweight. And he's about to fuck up Ihor Potieria. Ihor Potieria is not. He's like Shogun is looking somewhat decent against Ihor Potieria, and Shogun's like 42 or some shit. Like, guys, I don't see any world where Ihor Potieria can do anything to Michel Pereira. This is going to be another highlight for Michel Pereira's career.
Guys, I capped on Michel Pereira for a pretty long time. If you happen to see our 299 video, I picked against him with Michal Olajaychuk, and I was sorely fucking mistaken for that. I just think that at middleweight, you know, he's a different beast, and I don't know who he was scheduled. He was scheduled to fight Mahmoud Muradov.
You would have fucked him up.
I would have taken him there, guys. Respect to Ihor Potieria for taking this fight and for still being fucking booked against Shara Bullet. But I just, you know, he like fucking signed his own death wish.
I do respect him for that. I'm not gonna knock him down for that, but he's not gonna be able to fight Shara Bullet after this one. He's gonna get fucked up, and the commission's not gonna allow him to fight that. So hopefully we'll see the Shara still fight on that card against somebody else, but maybe against Michel Pereira himself. That would be pretty crazy. I honestly have Michel Pereira in that. If you can't KO Bruno Silva, then I'm a little concerned.
Yeah, Chris Weidman fucking took out Bruno Silva. All right, guys, on to the featured bout: Anthony Smith versus Vitor Petrino.
Do we even need to cover this? I think it's obvious. If you can type in the comments, in the last 3 years.
Let's play a fun game.
In the last 3 years.
We're going to give you guys 10 seconds, right, to guess who has Anthony Smith beat in the last 4 years. We'll give you 10 we'll give you 10 seconds starting now.
I'll give you a hint. He has 3 wins over 2 people. And you tell me who that is. And if you know who that is, then you know that he's not beating Vitor Petrino. The guys he's beat suck. They suck. And he's been getting fucked up for years. Like, I just don't know how you can take Anthony Smith.
It's been about 10 seconds, guys. He's beat Ryan Spann twice and Devin fucking Clark. I was trying to talk some sense into him by saying I think Vitor Petrino's not really all that great, and that, you know, I would not put my last dollar on this guy. But when I really thought about the fact he's 26 and Anthony Smith really has not beaten a fucking soul that's worth bragging about in the last 4 years, I can't help but take Vitor Petrino, guys. I'm sorry. I tried to make a case for Anthony Smith, but the more and more I was talking out loud, I realized how fucking crazy I sounded.
Yeah, this is another lock of the fucking card. Anthony Smith. This is probably his last fight in the UFC. In front
He
of...
should just stick to the Believe You Me podcast with fucking Bisping. 2 retired guys talking shit about fighters.
If Bisping came back, I would bet on him to beat Anthony Smith. But, yeah, that's besides the point. Vitor Petrino's, he's undefeated, Brazilian, good power, good everything, basically. So, I don't really have a reason to pick Anthony Smith, and nobody does.
Co-main event, guys, Jose Aldo, Jonathan Martinez. You know, I was really riding the Jonathan Martinez wave for a little bit. I was trying to talk him into picking Jonathan Martinez. And then, guys, I really sat there and thought for a second. His 2 best wins. A leg kick KO over Adrian Yanez. And a fucking KO over Cub Swanson. Guys, that's just not enough for me to put behind picking against the King of fucking Rio.
The King of Rio is not losing a fight in fucking Rio. Guys, like, you gotta think about it in this way. Jose Aldo, right? He is a legend, a former champion, and he was 1 fight away from getting a title shot a year ago. If he beat Merab, he would get a title shot.
That was not a year ago, bro.
Or 2 years ago. A year and a half ago. Whatever. He was 1 fight away from getting a title shot. And you guys remember, he had the best performance against Merab out of everybody. He stuffed all of Merab's takedowns. And Merab was just holding that motherfucker against the fence, and that's how he won the fight.
Yeah, guys, I mean, I feel like Jose Aldo, you know, he's in his hometown. He went off and was trying to do boxing and shit and just realized it's not the same fucking thing.
Mm-hmm.
Jose Aldo knew that this card did not deserve to be a pay-per-view card, and people were calling it out.
And he hopped on that shit.
People were not sliding to this event or not copying the pay-per-view, and Jose Aldo knew that they needed fucking backup, and he stepped up to the fucking plate and said, yeah, I'll fight Jonathan Martinez.
And I know Jose Aldo has been training too. I feel like he didn't just retire
and start eating potato chips and shit sitting on the couch.
He didn't just retire and stop training. No, because he already was in peak physical shape to be at bantamweight, and he's gonna be able to show up again.
Yeah,
like he knew he was on top of his shit, and his last fight he was not trying to retire like that. He's gonna come out here looking to take Martinez's head off his fucking shoulders and KO his ass.
Yeah, absolutely, bro. And in the main event, we've got Steve Erceg and Alejandro Pantoja. And guys, Alejandro the fucking cannibal Pantoja has only been eaten alive fucking decisions. His last win was a submission over Alex Perez. And before that, he lost to fucking the deaf guy in that division. What's that fucking guy's name?
I don't even know that.
Askarov. He lost to the fucking deaf guy.
Fuck Askarov. Before I say anything, fuck that guy. On to the main event. Like, I don't want to take time out of the prediction to get on that guy because we can do that in another time, but fuck that guy.
We have a separate video coming soon.
Yeah.
Fuck Askarov.
We have a whole video about how we don't fuck with that guy.
Stay tuned and we'll see.
But anyways, Steve Erceg, he's not even known as like a boxer. Like, his best skill set is grappling. He just happens to be fire at running that of the boxing. So Alex Pantoja, the way he beat Moreno was just out toughing that motherfucker. Like, he was just getting his ass kicked, but he was also throwing shit back. Steve Erceg's jab is going to be finding Alexander Pantoja's chin the whole fight. It's going to be a bloody massacre. There's going to be blood all over the face, all over the place. Alexander Pantoja is going to be looking like he just came out of a brawl with a fucking gorilla or some shit. His face is going to be bloodied, bruised.
And Steve Erceg's going to be bloody and bruised, but with that like little smile and shit.
He's going to be more active. He's faster.
Yeah, get the belt.
I can see Steve Erceg he won't get submitted. I can see him getting out of those positions and even gaining like full mount on his ass and just like raining down punches on his ass.
Guys.
And eventually he'll find the KO.
The GC MMA official pick for the main event is Steve fucking Erceg. I think
plus money too, boys.
The UFC really needs a revamp in this division, and I think that they're picking the perfect fucking person to do it. Alexander Pantoja's strong shoot has never been his striking, and Steve Erceg might be able to catch him, drop him, pop in a full mount, and beat the fuck out of him.
Don't cap on our underdog main event picks, boys. Sean O'Malley, Sean Strickland, Topuria.
We tried to pick Colby Covington, admittedly, but that one
got fucked. But other than that,
on the flip side, that was a terrible fucking idea.
Yeah.
But yeah, guys, the locks for this week: Joanna Simbrito, the guy who's fighting Jamie Malarkey,
Ruffy Marcio,
the Ruffalo or whatever.
Marisa, whatever how you say it.
We've got that guy, Kai Barallo, Vitor Petrino.
Oh, okay. Yeah, not as a lock.
Michelle Pereira, guys, that's 5 fucking locks for this week. Dude.
And bro, if we hit 5 locks, you gotta come back and comment on the recap video.
We're not even saying you don't even have to parlay them, but we're just saying we're giving you 5 fighters and watch all 5.
A 5 lock? Is that even heard of? 5 fights that are a lock? You might be hearing that shit like, these guys are fucking crazy out of their mind. When this shit hits, come back to the channel and celebrate with the boys, because we've got some money behind these locks.
Boys, with that being said, we're going to be trying to record a couple more videos. We have a few in mind that we may have mentioned in the middle of this shit. Give us some time to film it, get it edited, and we'll put it up there. Boys, we hope you enjoy this card. GCMMA out.
See y'all.